Ever dream of finding those perfect stocks? You know, the ones you can buy once and hold forever? That's the holy grail of investing. It's what legends like Warren Buffett and Peter Lynch preach. Buy great companies and never sell. Sounds simple, right? Well, I've got some bad news for you. This dream is getting harder to achieve. Companies are dying faster than ever before. It's scary stuff. Back in the 50s, businesses in the S&P 500 stuck around for about 61 years. Now, they're lucky to make it 18 years. That's a 70% drop in lifespan. And investors? They're getting jumpy. In the 70s, people held on to stocks for about 5 years. Now, they're selling after just 10 months. It's like playing hot potato with your life savings. This market is a minefield. New companies pop up overnight. Old giants crumble without warning. It's enough to make even the most confident investor lose sleep. But here's the thing. Even in this crazy market, there's a silver lining. Some companies are built to last. I found a handful of businesses that could weather this storm. These rare breeds might actually sit in your portfolio for decades, maybe even forever. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 of these survivor stocks. They're your best shot at that buy and hold dream in a market that seems to change by the minute. Without any further ado, let's dive into our first forever stock, Microsoft. Now you might be thinking, why not Apple or Google? I hear you. But let me break down why Microsoft is the king of the tech castle for long-term investors. First off, Microsoft is like a 3-course meal of money-making. They've got 3 main revenue streams, all roughly the same size, all churning out cash like there's no tomorrow. Course 1, their business and productivity software. We're talking Excel, Word, PowerPoint, the works. This stuff is the lifeblood of pretty much every big company out there. Seriously, try to imagine a Fortune 500 company not using Microsoft products. You can't, right? That's because Microsoft is so deeply embedded in how businesses operate. It's practically impossible to rip them out. Next up, we've got the cloud. Microsoft's cloud business is a beast. It's way bigger than Google's, and it's growing like a weed. This isn't just some trend. This is the future of computing, and Microsoft is leading the charge. Finally, they've got their personal computing division. Yeah, they make some hardware, but unlike Apple, it's not their bread and butter. It's more like the cherry on top. Now, here's where it gets really good. Most of Microsoft's money, it comes from subscriptions or long-term contracts. We're talking steady, predictable cash flow. It's like a river of money that just keeps flowing year after year. And get this, they're not just a U.S. company. Half their revenue comes from outside the States. They're global. Let's compare this to Apple for a second. Apple makes fantastic products, no doubt, but they're mainly a hardware company. And here's the thing about hardware. It can be brutal. Remember BlackBerry, Nokia? They were on top of the world until they weren't. Hardware trends change fast, and if you miss the boat, you're in trouble. Then there's Google. Great company, but most of its eggs are in one basket. Advertising. If people stop clicking ads, Google's in hot water. Microsoft, though, they're like a fortress with 3 walls. If one part of their business takes a hit, they've got 2 others to fall back on. And they've proven time and time again that they can fight off competitors. It's like they've got a moat, a drawbridge, and a dragon guarding their castle. And let's talk profits. Microsoft keeps its gross margins around 70%. That's not just good. That's incredible. It means for every dollar they make, 70 cents is profit. And they've been doing this for a decade. So, if you're looking for a stock you can buy today and potentially hold for the rest of your life, Microsoft is it. Remember, in a world where companies come and go faster than ever, Microsoft has shown it has staying power. It's not just surviving, it's thriving. And that's exactly what you want in a forever stock. Alright, let's move on to our second forever stock, Berkshire Hathaway. This one's a real heavyweight. It's not just a company. It's like its own stock market. When I'm looking for a buy and hold forever stock, I want something that's practically indestructible. And folks, Berkshire Hathaway is a fortress. Let me paint you a picture. In the last 12 months, Berkshire pulled in a whopping $370 billion in revenue. But that's not even the impressive part. This money comes from everywhere. I mean everywhere. Berkshire owns dozens of companies outright. We're talking insurance, energy, railroads, food, real estate, clothing, you name it. They probably own a piece of it. They've got their fingers in so many pies. It's like they're running an economic buffet. But wait, there's more. On top of all these companies they own, Berkshire's got a massive portfolio of stocks. Apple, Bank of America, Coca-Cola are some of the biggest names in the market. It's like they've got their own mini S&P 500. Now, here's where it gets really wild. Berkshire's sitting on a mountain of cash. We're talking about $276 billion. That's not a typo. It's more cash than most countries have in their central banks. It's so much money. It makes the U.S. Federal Reserve look like it's running a lemonade stand. Think about what this means. If the market crashes, Berkshire's got cash to go shopping. If inflation spikes, they've got hard assets to weather the storm. If a new technology disrupts an industry, they're diversified enough to barely feel it. The only real risk to Berkshire is bad management. But even then, the company's so massive and diverse, it would take a serious effort to run it into the ground. This is what I mean when I say indestructible. Berkshire Hathaway isn't just a company. It's an economic ecosystem. It's built to last not just years, but decades. So when I'm looking for a stock I can buy and hold forever, Berkshire Hathaway is right at the top of the list. All right, stock number 3 on our list of forever holdings is Visa. Now, I looked at the major players in digital payments. Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. They're all solid, but Visa's the one I'd bet on for the long haul. Here's why Visa stands out. It's all about the network. Visa's payment network is massive. We're talking billions of transactions every day, all over the world. It's so big, it's almost impossible to imagine replacing it. Think about it. Every time you swipe that card, Visa makes money. Every single time. And people love their credit cards. The rewards, the convenience. It's addictive. Sure, new payment methods will come along. But Visa's not sitting still. They're adapting, evolving, and staying on top of trends. Here's the kicker. Visa's so deeply woven into how we buy things, it would take a financial revolution to knock them out. And even if governments try to regulate them, they're too big, too important to just shut down. So there you have it. Visa, the company that's basically synonymous with paying for stuff. In a world where how we pay is changing fast, Visa's the rock-solid player that's likely to be around for decades to come. Stock number 4 is S&P Global. Now, I know it might not be a household name like Apple or Amazon, but in the financial world, these guys are royalty. When I was picking this one, I actually looked at 3 companies that have a stranglehold on their markets. FICO, ASML, and S&P Global. They're all basically monopolies in what they do. But out of these 3, S&P Global is the one I bet on for the long haul. Now, don't get me wrong. FICO, the credit score people, and ASML, who make the machines that make computer chips, are fantastic companies. But they've got some weak spots that S&P Global doesn't. Let's take FICO. They've been jacking up their prices like crazy, sometimes 50% or even 100% a year. That's great for profits, but it's also catching the eye of politicians. When you're the only game in town and you're squeezing customers like that, you're asking for trouble. ASML is awesome too, but man, their business is complicated. They need some of the smartest people on the planet just to keep things running, let alone innovate. That's a tough act to keep up forever. But S&P Global? These guys have got it made. First off, their business is diverse. They're not relying on just one thing to make money. Their rating business is a gold mine. When a company wants to issue bonds, they need a rating from S&P. It's like a global language in finance. Good luck disrupting that. But the real jewel in the crown? Their indices. S&P Global owns the S&P 500 index. Think about that. As long as people care about how the stock market is doing, S&P Global is making money. It's like they own the scoreboard for capitalism. And here's the kicker. This business is global. It's just as big outside the U.S. as it is inside. That's the kind of worldwide reach you want in a forever stock. So when I'm looking at companies that can stand the test of time, S&P Global ticks all the boxes. They're diverse, they're global, and they own something that the entire financial world relies on. All right, we've reached our last pick, and it's a big one. Costco. Yeah, the place where you buy everything in bulk. You might be thinking, wait a minute, a retail store? As a buy and hold forever stock. But hear me out. Costco isn't your average big box store. When I look at potential lifetime investments, I always compare a company to its closest competitors. For Costco, that's giants like Walmart and Target. Costco is playing a whole different ball game. Let's break it down. Costco isn't really in the business of selling stuff. I know. Sounds crazy, right? But here's their secret sauce. Costco sees itself as a buying agent for its customers. Their entire mission is to get you the lowest prices possible. They're not trying to squeeze every penny out of you. They're trying to save you money. Now, how do they do this and still make money? 2 words. Membership model. This is pure genius. By charging a membership fee, Costco can afford to sell products at razor-thin margins. We're talking margins so low, they'd make other retailers cry. Think about it. When you go to Costco, you're not just a customer, you're a member. You're a part of the club. And this club is all about getting the best deals. It's like they've turned bargain hunting into an exclusive experience. This membership model does something amazing. It smooths out the roller coaster that is retail. See, companies like Walmart and Target, they live and die by their sales. If people stop buying, they're in trouble. But Costco, even if sales dip, they've still got that sweet, sweet membership revenue rolling in. And here's the kicker. People love their Costco memberships. It's not just about buying in bulk. It's about feeling smart with your money. It's about walking out of the store with a 50-inch TV and a year's supply of peanut butter, feeling like you've beaten the system. In a world where retail is constantly changing, Costco has found a winning formula that stands the test of time. They've built a fortress, not with tech or patents, but with loyalty and value. And that wraps up our 5 forever stocks. Microsoft, Costco, Berkshire Hathaway, S&P Global, and Visa. These aren't just good companies. They're titans built to last. Add these to your portfolio, and you might just be able to buy and hold forever, just like the investing greats always told us to do. Hope you liked this video. If you found it valuable, watch my other video on this topic titled Top 5 Buy and Hold Forever Dividend Stocks, and I'll join you there.